Howdy, folks. I'm irascible iron, icily ironing impressionistic infrastructure.
I'm Amber.
But that doesn't make any sense. Really, we're kind of like jumping the shark.
That is a bad episode of The X-Files. I'll never watch it the rest of the way through.
That's not even where
It
it's.
traumatized
There's
me.
not.
It traumatized me for life.
It's not where the expression comes from. It comes from the
I
Happy Days episode where Fonzie jumps the shark.
I don't know what that means. All I know is the X-Files episode. It scarred me for life.
Let's get started. All right, folks. Our first very, very believable episode letter is titled, "Am I the jerk for buttering my roommate because of a soap argument?" I'm buying it, folks. I'm already buying it. Hello, people. I can explain what the reason for the argument was. Firstly, I told my roommate that I have a theory that the human body should be able to produce soap by itself. Why? Because, think about this, soap is made from fats and oils. Look on Google. The human body is also made of fats and oils, and it has them already. So we should be able to produce soap by natural ways instead of always showering and bathing every day until we die. Make sense? I think that evolution could do it. Anyways, he tells me that it's impossible and to give up on the idea. I got angry and I tried to convince him that it can happen. Long story short, but we got into an argument about this topic. He tells me that soap has more than fats and oils and that there are other elements involved. To prove him wrong, I said that we could replace soap in the shower with butter. Butters have fats and oils and are soaps, and we would use it as soap for a while. He said, no, don't. But I did it anyways when he wasn't home. Well, the next time he showers, I hear absolute screaming Bloody Mary. I know what is happening before I even have to take a look, and my roommate used butter on himself and is shouting. He reacted too strongly, I think, because I was trying to show a theory. Am I the jerk here? Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Yes, OP, you're the jerk. You don't get to replace people's personal hygiene products with butter.
You're a jerk for making things up. That's what I'm gonna say. OP, and I actually wanted to cover this because oils and fats, while they can make soap, there's a chemical process involved with it, and it actually involves things like lye. And when you use something like bleach, you might feel your skin being a little extra slippery. That's because the bleach is actually turning the oils and fats in your skin into a soap-like substance. So that's why your fingers actually feel slippery when you use stuff like bleach. Now, in order to extract those oils and turn them into soap, you would have to probably make somebody unalived.
Yeah,
It's not a good thing. There's no way that this theory works without, when they used to render fat, right? They used to render fat and they used to take that fat and they used to throw lye water on it, and then that lye water would transform and stuff like that. It's a whole process. If he's really interested in soap making, he needs to look into it, but butter and oils on their own do not make soaps. So if this is a misconception and for some reason somebody actually did this, then they're wrong, and don't use butter on your roommates. How many times do we have to say not to put margarine on people or cats? But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Kaylee the Blaze says, fats and oils don't just magically turn into soap. It requires a chemical reaction called spontification. The body would have to emit a caustic chemical, lye, to create its own soap. Lye causes nasty burns when it contacts the skin. So hopefully you aren't dumb enough to try to make soap on your skin. If you want to try your dumb experiments, do not do them on other people's. Do them on yourself. You're the jerk. Your poor roommate. And Sunshine Kitten yes says, what is wrong with you? Despite your innate lack of chemistry knowledge, history, and common sense, having a stick of butter in the shower is a severe slipping hazard. You know what your roommate had to use to get butter off their own skin? Soap. You're the jerk, and from now on, your name will be Kevin. And Anxiety13606 says, you're the jerk. If my roommate replaced my soap with butter, I would be livid. Maybe you should find other ways to explain that. Yes, there have been other people in history that have used human fats and oils to make soap. Maybe you could have shown him articles instead of replacing his soap with butter to try to prove a point. That I did not know, and now I'm horrified. Our next letter is titled, Am I the Jerk for Throwing My Sister and Her Children Out in Front of the Guests? I'm a 32-year-old female, and my older sister is a 47-year-old female, and she's always been a little mean-spirited, but everyone in my family has appeased her due to our parents, especially our mother. No matter what she has done, our mother will make an excuse for her. Yesterday, she took it to another level. She recently separated because of her shenanigans, and my mother pressured me to allow her and her children, a 3-year-old female, a 5-year-old male, an 8-year-old male, an 11-year-old male, and a 13-year-old male, to stay with me as my other siblings, a 25-year-old female, a 30-year-old male, a 37-year-old female, and a 43-year-old male, wouldn't take her in. They all made excuses that they have a family and I don't have a partner, so it makes sense for me to put up with her. I agreed, but I told her that no matter what happened in the past, I wouldn't put up with her behavior anymore. This is my newly bought house, and I expected them all to behave and follow the house rules. No sneaking around and going through the cupboards, and no taking food which is labeled. I meal prep for work. No reading diaries. She's done this on several occasions when we lived together as children and when we house shared. Or going on my devices without prior permission. A laptop is available for guest use, and no borrowing my clothes. She has stayed with me for a month and managed to break all of the rules. When I confronted her, her go-to answer is, so what? It's only a diary, dress, some food, you can make some more. Her children have also broken a few of my things. Every time my mother has convinced me to let her stay due to her situation and that the children are just children. Yesterday I had a work party at my place, and I'm a private person, so I don't discuss my private life with anyone. It's usually a high and bye for me. My team leader convinced me to have the party at my place in return for reimbursement. Strike one was her coming downstairs before the party and wearing the dress that I had chosen for the party, but due to her size being a size 12, she ripped the sides as I'm a size 8. I didn't want to ruin the party, so I told her to quit her BS and to put on a different dress. She mingled with my guests and told several embarrassing stories, quite a few made-up ones. I tried to keep my cool. Her youngest was also at the party, despite our agreement that she had to be put to bed early. She vomited on one of the managers, who took it in stride and said that it was only a baby and these things happen. At the meal, my sister called for attention by tapping a champagne glass. This is when the stuff hit the fan. She started reading out loud from my diary, pages with things that I haven't shared with my closest friends, never mind coworkers. She got about half a page down before I grabbed her and took her to the door and I threw her out. I also grabbed her children and I chucked them out. And then I went upstairs and I grabbed what I could of hers and I threw it out the second floor window. There was no going back from that, and my guests made their excuses. This morning, my mother left me some choice words on my voicemail, and my older brother is angry as he had to put up with her until they can convince me to take her back, as my mother said. My sister left me 10 plus messages on how disrespectful I was. I have taken the week off of work, but I can't see how I can even return again. Am I the jerk for not being patient with her during her grieving moment in life? All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. You need to immediately go no contact with your mom and any other family members who are remotely considering anything she has done okay. This was a huge violation of your trust and privacy.
Yeah.
Well before it even got to the party. Like, the party is over the top, but she has repeatedly at every turn taken advantage of you and broken your rules. And it seems like just because she can.
Yeah.
Like, she just does this stuff because she can get away with it. She's a horrible person, and it is not your responsibility to take care of her.
Yeah, I mean, OP, your sister is a bully. Plain and simple, she likes bullying you, and she took this as an opportunity to make your life miserable. I have no pity or remorse for her. I think that while it's unfortunate that children are involved in this situation, these children aren't your responsibility, especially from a person who's showing you a lack of respect. Now, she's turned this around. She's trying to paint herself as the victim when it's you who is actually the victim here, OP. She needs to understand that there are consequences for actions, and what she's done here is inexcusable. She had a place to go. It's not like there wasn't any, this was the last place to go and it was freezing below zero and that their kids were, standing around exposed for hours or something like that, right?
Well, and even in that case, you still wouldn't be obligated to take her in. Like, maybe taking the kids because they're kind of innocent parties, but do not ever, and I'm not saying you do. I was like, if they are freezing cold, you could take the kids. But, like,
Yeah.
do not let this woman back into your house or your
No,
life.
no. And I mean, I wasn't saying that she should. I was just saying, like, this isn't circumstances which were exceptional, is all I'm saying. So I don't think that OP's in the wrong here, and I think that the sister needs to find a new place to live. And OP, you need to find a new family.
Yeah, I mean, what was her end game here? To get you fired?
Yeah, I mean, then what good is that going to do anyone here? And I don't think that she has an end game, to be honest. I think that she just, like, delights in
Humiliating people.
humiliating her sister. So I just think that this is just a cruel, mean-spirited thing. Like, she wasn't doing this to get her fired. She was doing this because she is a mean person.
Well, yeah, but, like, you have to understand that if you're, embarrassing someone in front of their work colleagues, that's going to have ramifications for their work life. And, like, even if she didn't intend to get you fired, like, she's an adult. Presumably she can use enough logical faculties to know that if you say these kind of things, it can affect someone's professional reputation.
Yeah. I just think she's a very self-centered, inconsiderate person, so she doesn't think about things from that lens. I think she just doesn't even consider that it might impact someone's life negatively. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And according ad 6364 says, not the jerk, you put up with a lot more than I would have. Does your family not realize that she could have put your job at risk by doing this? And OP replies, I don't know. I think it's safe to say that I can't show my face around my workplace anymore. I feel bad about the children, though. I chucked the second youngest quite hard out the door. That's not such a good thing, right? Mm-hmm. The Crown and Anchor says, change the locks on your doors, put cameras inside the house, and block everyone in your family for the time being. Everyone thinks that this is your problem to solve, but it isn't. So just remove yourself entirely and let the cameras alert you if they show up so you cannot answer the door and call the police. Not the jerk. And OP replies, I already have cameras, but my parents do keep a spare key to all of the houses just in case. I think I need to change that. I think you need to change that, OP.
Mm-hmm.
And the Crown and Anchor says, your parents will likely just give the key to your sister, or she'll take it herself. Call a 24-hour locksmith immediately. And OP replies, I have to check if my insurance covers that. And Mystic Box says, wait, I thought she just separated because of her shenanigans were too much for her partner and is now grieving? Also, your older brother has no right to even be angry at you. Why even? Why can't dear mother take this sister in? Anyways, not the jerk. She crossed the line in telling others something that was private when she was not part of the party. Eldest sister should be ashamed on her behavior. What even was the purpose? To embarrass and humiliate you with stuff that may or may not be true? They, sister and kids, have all broken your rules, so that's that. And OP replies, my mother calls it grieving, and she left many messages with the youngest niece crying in the background as she said it was my fault that they're homeless in their hour of need. She wants me to step up as their aunt and as their father has made their mother grieve due to separation. My mother won't take her in as her children are too young and she suffers from high blood pressure. She says that she can't do it full time. She left a message saying that I really did want her to die of high blood pressure instead of looking after my nieces and nephews. This is emotional blackmail.
Oh yeah, it is. Your mother is an emotionally abusive person and you need to not have her in your life if she's going to be like this.
Yeah. And then on top of that, why is it that she had to vacate the house with the 5 children? Where is the dad in all of this, right? If he needs to take in the kids while she finds a suitable place, then that's that, right? Like, he needs to step up and be a parent and actually take care of the 5 children that they have. They should not be being vacated from their home. I mean, I can understand maybe the mother needs to take the kids, and maybe it doesn't sound like it was an abusive situation, other than maybe the sister being abusive toward the husband, right?
Yeah, there's no indication the husband was an abuser. And yeah, there's no reason necessarily that we know of from this post why he can't take the kids.
Yeah, so he needs to take the kids. She needs to go find herself a new place to live in the meantime.
Yeah, she can just fend for herself.
Yeah, and that's that. Plain and simple. That's how I would resolve that. Alright, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I have a beverage of choice right here. And Amber has a joke from a book that is written by Jovial Bobstein.
Why did the two Cyclops get into a fight?
I can tell you exactly why the two Cyclopses got into a fight, and I'll use the worst possible Jovial Bobstein logic that I can think of. They got into a fight because they only could see themselves in the mirror when they had their one eyeball pointing towards themselves.
They couldn't see eye to eye.
They couldn't see eye to eye. Horrible. Terrible. And I have mega mint. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Wednesday. We're getting close to the end of the week. We're getting close to our live stream, folks. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please, have it in the form of a slogan for a butter commercial.
Can it just be a company that makes butter and margarine?
Yeah.
Okay. Butter and margarine go better on bread than on coworkers and roommates.
That's very true. That is a moral. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.